Just behind me is Golgotha, the place of the skull. If you use your imagination, you can see two eyes and a nose. It was named Golgotha, the place of the skull, for that natural rock formation. To the left is the place where Jesus was ultimately buried and risen. On top is an ancient burial ground. It was Christian, and we are told is now today Muslim. At the top of the hill, we see the place that Jesus was most likely crucified. It does meet the biblical criteria. It's along a busy road, and this location is in fact outside of the city. Hence, we believe it is in fact the place that Jesus was murdered. When someone famous dies, we memorialize their grave. This is true in Seattle with Bruce Lee, Jimi Hendrix, and Kurt Cobain. When a religious leader dies, their grave is enshrined. There are 4 major religions based on a person, not just a system of ideas. Judaism is based upon Abraham. And today, if you visited Hebron, you would see an enormous tribute, a memorial, a worship site built over his dead entombed body. Similarly, in Buddhism, the Buddha is buried in India, and over his tomb has been erected an enormous place of worship where people pilgrimage to every year. Also, Islam was founded by Muhammad, who is buried in Medina. His grave is marked with an enormous location of worship. Christianity is founded by a man, Jesus Christ. What is curious, though, is that his tomb is not only not enshrined, it is not known. No one has any idea where the most famous man in the history of the world was buried. This is because he rose from death. I wanted to see this for myself, and so we took a film crew to Jerusalem. It was an enormous city in Jesus' day, and Jesus caused an enormous stir in that city. Yet, upon arrival, you quickly learn that no one has any idea exactly where Jesus was buried. The tourists visit what is essentially a museum. It is a place where a tomb did reside and someone perhaps was buried, but it is empty. And so they take you there to show you what it perhaps was like when Jesus was buried. But they will tell you, the archaeologists who oversee that site, that in fact Jesus was likely not buried there, but they have no idea. Why? Because he rose from death. His body is not there, and unlike every other major world religion, there is no evidence that our founder is dead.